Hey guys, today I'm going to review the new Hunger Games movie, and I won't say the full name because I totally don't remember it, but I did read the novel a while ago, not that long ago actually, because I bought it a long time after it was released, and when I got it I didn't read it for the longest time, and then it was like, okay, let's read it because it's there, and later this year I'm going to probably watch the movie, so I should compare with the book. And that was a good idea actually, and I'm going to tell you why in a few moments. But also, I'm not, I mean, I'm a fan, let's say, of the movies, earlier movies and the novels. I remember watching the first movie, and I was so invested in the characters and in the story and in the world that I was like, I have to read these books, and I read the three of them. And have to say that Suzanne Collins has a way about creating younger characters and situations that she puts them in that are very interesting and that really explore the human experience in some way. And then, yes, she uses young love a lot in order to propel the stories of all of her characters, and it's she writes young adult novels, so that's a given. I have to, you have to accept that in order to live in that world for a bit, so that's fine for me. But I really loved all the movies, to be honest, even though they weren't perfect, and I did love all the novels. I have to say that watching this movie, I got myself into a bit of a crossroads, I would say, because to be very honest, I thought the movie was going to be a little bit better. I think I didn't see actually. I kind of browsed some reviews about the movie beforehand, and I saw the Rotten Tomato score, which is at 62%, it's right now it's at the same point as the Marvels, and I was like, oh, if this is as good as the Marvels, which I really enjoyed, it's going to be very enjoyable too. And come to watch it, and I have to say that, I mean, my biggest criticism with this movie is not the set pieces, the set decoration, production design, the costume design, all of that is gorgeous. And I have to say that I always thought that either Catching Fire or one of the Mockingjay movies should have been nominated for an Academy Award for production design, or costume design or something like that, because it was beautifully done. That mix of futuristic but with the past, but it's very a mix of so many things. It's absolutely incredible. But my problem with this movie is the acting, to be honest. I have to say that even though in the last few movies, I mean, the acting was not perfect, we did have some people that really were fantastic in their acting. I mean, for a Liam Hemsworth, which, I mean, he doesn't know how to act, we have a Jennifer Lawrence. And Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, she could be in anything, and she is just amazing. She really propels anything that she's thrown at as a movie role. I really think she's a fantastic actress, and I'm really ashamed that people just concentrated and focused for a while on her personal issues and personal things that happened to her, and on her marriage, and on so many things about her that are not really that important, to be honest. I appreciate actors for their acting. Basically, I don't really care what they do on their lives or whatever, and I do really think that Jennifer Lawrence is one of the best actresses of her generation by far. I mean, she's fantastic, and she really did a lot with the Hunger Games movies, and she made me believe that Katniss Everdeen was a real young woman that was thrown into these crazy mix of a rebellion and a dictatorship, and all of this was happening, and she was just pushed into it, and she really portrays that well in the movies. And you have other characters in those movies that really do a great job, and one of them was the actor that played Coriolanus Snow, which is Donald Sutherland. He's Donald Sutherland. He's really great in his acting, and some other actors were really great in those movies. In this one, however, we have, I don't remember the name of the actor that portrays Coriolanus Snow in this one, but he's not precisely charismatic, and that might be out of choice, because he's not supposed to be charismatic. He's supposed to be someone that you hate, and maybe from that point of view you kind of get it. But in the books, for example, there's a point in which you kind of connect with him, and you realize that he's not an awful person, and he does have an option to be saved, if you will. However, you never really connect at all with that part of him in the movie, so they really miss that. And as for the woman, the young actress whose name I forget also, she was in West Side Story, um, that portrays Lucy Gray-Baird in this movie, I have to say that she doesn't really connect either. I really think they tried to cast an actress that could sing, and it's very important that Lucy Gray-Baird knows how to sing in a movie, because it's a really big part of her personality in the novel, and I know many people got annoyed, and it was visible in the with my audience in the theater, because some people didn't really like her singing, because they thought, I think maybe some people felt that it was a very off with the movie, and I think that they didn't really do the best to mix that in organically into the film, which really does happen in the book precisely. So I think that the actress was also very disconnected. She really was trusting her all when the character was singing, but when the character was acting, she seemed a little bit forced, a little bit unlike her, and more unlike more like the actress, and that shouldn't happen in a movie. So I think the secondary characters, like Viola Davis's Dr. Gold, I think she's the best actress in the whole movie. Again, she's Viola Davis. Of course, she's the best actress in a movie. She's fantastic, but she's really the one that connects with her character and really drives into her character and really explores and exploits what it is to be Dr. Gold. The other actors do not really do that, and I have to say that maybe it's the lack of names in this movie. You have like two actors, Viola Davis and the actor from Game of Thrones, whose name I also forget. I'm forgetting everyone's name now, but he's a little person. I can't forget. I can't remember his name, but they are the names of the movie, if you will. But he doesn't do as much of as a good job, and to be honest, he has so few scenes that you don't really get to be with him that much, and that's another problem that the movie has, that I don't think it really processes everything correctly in order to present you with everything. There are some things in the movie that should have been a little bit more explained, or someone had to say something in order for us or for most people to get it, because most people won't remember the other movies if they had seen them. There was an older couple in front of me, and I really doubt they saw the other movies, and even so, I don't think they would remember what the Mockingjays were, or the Jabber whatever, or the other birds, or many things that people that had seen the other movies know about Panem and about the characters. Like the roses thing, like the poison thing, all of that, they don't really remember that, most of the people. So they didn't do a good enough job in this movie to really make us understand why those things were so important. And yeah, that was bad. And actually also the pacing of the movie is very off, because you have some action scenes, and in the book it's the same thing. In the book you don't really have that much going on as in action, but you have this inner action in the movie, in the novels, that really propels the story. But that's because that's a novel, and what happens inside a character and in his head, it really does move the novel. In a movie, you cannot really play that exactly as in the novel. So they should have found some other ways to make that a little bit clear and useful to the story, because in the movie there are many places in which we have long conversations and super long scenes that are not really doing much, and they should have spent that time trying to really flesh out Panem for us and make us understand why telling the story of Coriolanus Snow was so important for Suzanne Collins and for Panem and for whatever, you know? So I think, besides that, I have to say, again, the cinematography of this movie is really amazing. I really liked what they did with the sound design, especially in the arena situation. It was very good. I think there are many things that are really interesting in this movie. Again, Viola Davis's performance is really great, but there are some other things that make it drag a lot. So when I saw that this movie had the same rating as the Marvels, now after watching the movie, I have to say the Marvels is way better. It's more fun. It has its stakes. It's a shorter movie that goes to the point fast, and it really makes its point. I mean, I don't care if you don't like those women, if you don't like the characters, they do go to the point. That movie is under 2 hours. This movie is 2 hours and a half, and I think you could remove 40 minutes easily. So again, better actors would have made for a better movie, to be honest. I mean, these actors are not the best casting ever, to be honest. A better work with the screenplay and a better work with the world of Panem. Sadly, I don't know if Suzanne Collins maybe will write another book about the Panem and the Hunger Games saga. I mean, she probably will, but I don't know if people would be interested in a movie based on that future novel, because I don't think this movie is going to do very well, and I don't think it should do that well, because it's not a great movie. I'm not saying it's the worst movie I have ever seen, but it's not really that great, and I would actually recommend for you to wait and watch it on streaming. If you don't love the Hunger Games, but because if you're a big fan, go watch it. You'll have a nice time. Be sure to have snacks and all of that in the movie theater, because it's long and it's not as enticing and as interesting as the novel, to be honest. Read the novel if you haven't, because that's the way to go, I think. So yeah, as promised, I did this review, and I hope I do another one really soon, but I don't know if there are more interesting movies this year, because they send a lot of the movies of later November and December into 2024 because of the actor strike. So maybe we will see each other next year or something, unless I come up with another video or something that I want to make. But yeah, about movies, maybe not so soon, but whatever. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you comment down below whatever you want, like it or whatever. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.